Okay, so now we are in chapter 3.6 and we'll be focusing on complex fractions and mixed numbers. Complex fraction. A fraction whose numerator or denominator, or both the numerator and the denominator contains fractions, is called a complex fraction. We have three examples. The first one says 1 over 4 divided by 2 over 3. We can say this as 1/4 divided by 2/3. In our numerator, we have the fraction 1/4, and in our denominator, we have the fraction 2/3. Second example, it says 1/4 plus 1/3, all divided by 6/11. So in our numerator, we have the combination of fractions 1/4 plus 1/3, and in our denominator, we have the fraction 6 over 11. And then the last one, 3/4 minus 1, all divided by 6. So in our numerator, we have the fraction 3/4 minus 1, and in the denominator, 6. Now, how do we simplify complex fractions? There are two methods. The first method is very useful if you have a single fraction in your numerator and a single fraction in your denominator. So for this example, it says simplify 1/4 divided by 2/3. The first thing you're going to do is realize that this fraction bar is the same as saying divided by. So you can rewrite this. So step one is to rewrite the expression using the division symbol. So we have 1/4 divided by 2/3. And then step two says follow the rules of dividing fractions. Well, we all realize that we do not divide fractions. Instead, we multiply by the reciprocal. So keep the first fraction, which is 1/4. And then instead of dividing, now multiply. The flip of 2/3 is 3/2. So now we really have 1/4 times 3/2. And at this point, you multiply numerator times numerator, which is 3. Denominator times denominator, which is 8. And then step 3 says reduce your answer into simplest form. Well, 3 over 8, that is in simplest form. Therefore, our answer is 3/8. So again, this method is very useful if you have a single fraction in your numerator and a single fraction in your denominator. Now the same problem, 1/4 divided by 2/3, can be simplified by method 2. Method 2 requires that you find the LCD for all denominators. So how many denominators do we have? We have two of them. They are 4 and they are 3. So the LCD, it should be 12. So the smallest multiple that 4 shares with 3 is 12. So once you find your LCD, step 2 says multiply each term by the LCD. So up top, let me rewrite this. So we have 1/4 divided by 2/3. So how many terms do we have? Well, we have 1/4 in our numerator and we have 2/3 in our denominator. Therefore, we're going to multiply both of these by 12. So 1/4 times 12 and 2/3 times 12. Now again, remember your rules for multiplying fractions. We can simplify. So 4 and 12, we can simplify the 4 and the 12. I can divide both by 4, making the 4 a 1 and the 12 a 3. So now I really have 1 times 3, which is 3, all divided by 1 times 1, which is 1. Let's do the same thing. 2/3 times 12 over 1. So we have the 3 and the 12. We simplify by dividing both by 3. It will make the 3 a 1 and the 12 a 4. So now we have 2 times 4, which is 8. over 1 times 1, which is 1. You know you're on the right track when all of your denominators have become 1. So now this has simplified to being 3 divided by 8. I can ignore my 1's. So the top fraction became 3, because remember we multiplied it by 12. Multiply it by 12. We get 3 over 8. And of course reduce your answer into simplest form. 3/8 is in simplest form, so this is correct. Now it's your choice which method you choose. You may choose the first method by rewriting the fraction bar as a divide symbol, or you can choose the second method where you're using the LCD. So let's go in our books to page 239. And let's look at some examples where we do not have a single fraction in the numerator or the denominator. So let's start by looking at number 8. And it says 7 over 6 plus 2 over 3 all divide by 3/2 minus 8/9. Okay, so since I do not have a single fraction in the numerator and the denominator, I'm going to use the second method, which was find the LCD for all denominators. So this time, how many denominators do we have? We have 4 of them. They are 6, 3, 2, as well as 9. So the LCD. Remember, you're going to start by writing the factors of all denominators. So we're going to work through the LCD for this one. So the factors of 6 will be 2 times 3. The factors of 3 would just be 3. The factors of 2 is 2. And then the factors of 9, 3 times 3. And then begin your LCD by writing the factors of the first, which is 2 times 3. And then you move down to the second one and you say, well, I need a 3. Do I already have a 3 up there? I do. So I don't write him. Move down to the third. It says 2. Do I already have a 2? I do. So do not write him. And then for the last one, this one is the most important one. It says, I need a 3. Do I already have a 3? I do. So I don't write this 3. However, do I see a second 3 up there? I do not, so I must write this one. So your LCD has become 2 times 3 times 3, which is 18. So the smallest multiple that 6, 3, 2, and 9 share is 18. Now once you have your LCD, you're going to multiply every term by your LCD. So how many terms are there? Well, since we had 4 denominators, we also have 4 terms. And they are 7 over 6. We're going to multiply it by 18. 2 over 3 times 18. 3 over 2 times 18. And then 8 over 9 times 18. Now let's simplify. So the 6 and the 18, I can simplify those. Oh, and by the way, remember that there's a 1 always underneath a whole number. So I can put the 1 there. Now I can simplify 6 and 18. I can divide both by 6, making the 6 a 1, and making 18 a 3. So now 7 times 3 is 21. We can continue this. Simplify the 3 and the 18. So we have 21, 12, 27, and 16. So now we can rewrite this as 21 plus 12, all divided by 27 minus 16. 21 plus 12, well, that is 33. And then 27 minus 16, well, that is 11. And of course, we have to write our answer in simplest form. So 33 over 11, I can divide both by 11. And I'll end up with 3 over 1, which is 3. Okay, let's look at another example. Let's look at number 9. So again, we're simplifying, and it says 3 over 4, all divided by 5 minus 1/8. Okay, so we need to simplify this. We're going to use the method of the LCD. So let's find the LCD. Okay, so this time, how many denominators do we have? Well, we have 4. There is 8. And then don't forget, there is the 1. So 4, 8, 1. Now let's find the LCD. Well, the factors of 4 are 2 times 2. And the factors of 8 are 2 times 2 times 2. And the factors of 1 are just 1. So begin by writing the factors of the first, which is 2 times 2. And then let's go to the second. We see a first 2. Do we already have a 2? We do. We have a second 2. Do you see a second 2? We do. Do you see a third 2? You do not, so put it up there. And now you have 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. So your LCD is 8, which means now you get to multiply every term by 8. So we have 3 over 4 times 8. 5 times 8. 1 over 8 times 8. And of course, remember there's a 1 underneath. And we can simplify first, so go ahead and simplify the 4 and the 8. And this will become 6. Here we do not have to simplify. So we have 5 times 8, which is just 40. And then simplify the 8 and the 8. And we end up with just 1. So now we come up here and we rewrite this. So up top we have 6 divided by 40 minus 1. And this will become 6 divided by 39. We can divide both by 3. And we get 2 over 13. So this has simplified down to just being 2/13. Okay, so now let's talk about how do we write a mixed number as an improper fraction. So step 1, multiply the denominator of the fraction by the whole number. So the whole number will multiply the denominator. So we're going to have the whole number times the denominator. And then step 2 says add the numerator to this product. So you're going to add the numerator. This will give you your new numerator. So multiply the whole times the denominator, then add the numerator. This is your new numerator. And then step 3 says keep the original denominator. So we will end up with the new numerator over the original denominator. So here are some examples. We have 5 and 1/9 and 1 and 9 of 9/11ths. So let's rewrite both of them as improper fractions. The first thing we're going to do is take our whole number, which is 5. 5 times 9, which is 45. And then you're going to take the 45 and you're going to add 1, which was the numerator. And you will end up with 46. So the new numerator is 46 divided by the original denominator of 9. So this improper fraction is 46 over 9. Let's do the same for this one. It says 1 and 9/11ths. So we're going to take the whole number, which is 1, multiply it by 11, which is just 11. And then we're going to take that answer and add the 9, which is 20. This has become the new numerator, so we have 20 divided by 11, and the improper fraction is 20 over 11. Now, of course, if we can write mixed numbers as improper fractions, we can also write improper fractions as mixed numbers. Step 1. It says divide the denominator into the numerator. So you're going to have the numerator divided by the denominator. And of course, you're going to do your long division. So this requires you to do your long division. And then it's going to say the whole number part of the mixed number is the quotient. So remember, the quotient was the answer that we received up here. The fraction part of the mixed number is the remainder over the original denominator. Recall that when you were doing long division, you end up subtracting values in here, and at the very end, you will have a remainder. So what they're saying is your mixed number, it will be the whole number, your mixed number will be the quotient as your whole number, and then the remainder is your new numerator, and then you keep the original denominator. So this is the whole number. This is now my numerator, and I keep the original denominator. Some examples. We have 30 over 7 and 84 over 6. Let's rewrite both as a mixed number. So we're going to do 30 divided by 7. Well, 7 goes into 30 4 times. That gives us 28. We subtract and we have a remainder of 2. So the whole number part is 4. The remainder is 2. And the original denominator, well, that's 7. So this is 4 and 2/7. Let's do the same thing. We have 84 divided by 6. Well, 6 goes into 8 one time. 1 times 6, well, that's 6. Subtract, you get 2. Drop down your 4. And now you have 24. Well, 6 goes into 24 4 times, with a remainder of 0. So this time your whole number part is 14. The numerator part is 0. And the original denominator was 6. Now remember, 0 over 6 is just 0. So you just write this answer as 14. Okay, let's practice some problems in our book. So let's look on page 241. And we're going to start by looking at number 71. And we'll also look at number 63. Okay, so for number 71, it says write each improper fraction as a mixed number or as a whole number. So we're going to start by doing 47 divided by 15. Well, 15 goes into 47 3 times. That would give us 45. Subtract, and we have a remainder of 2. So this is the mixed number 3 and 2/15. For the instructions in 63, it says write each mixed number as an improper fraction. So of course you're going to take the whole number, which is 9, and we're going to multiply it by the denominator, which is 20, and we'll get 180. Now with that 180, you're going to add 7, which makes it 187. So the new numerator is 187 divided by the original denominator of 20. So 187 divided by 20. Okay, so this will conclude our video for 3.6. Please email me if you have any questions.